also so they also played the most games in the Africa Cup and also won the most games, and they have scored the most goals as well. And the Democratic Republic of Congo holds the record of they lost the most games, 29 in 37 and 73 games, and they also conceded 102 goals, which is also the most by any country. And the latest country to have made their debut on the African Cup of Nations are Comoros and Gambia in the 2021 edition. And this edition is actually the first edition since 1957 without a country that's playing the Africa Cup for the first time in the history. Although there are still a few teams that have never qualified, like the Central African Republic, Chad, Djibouti, Eritrea, Eswatini, Lesotho, Sao Tome and Principe, Seychelles, Somalia, and South Sudan. So they have never qualified for the Africa Cup of Nations. And Ghana is the team to have lost the final most. They lost five times in the final, and so they have won it four times. And Cameroon are second; they have won it five times. And then you have Nigeria with three. There are a few countries won it two times, and a lot of countries to have won it one time. Like Morocco. Morocco only won the African Cup of Nations once in the history, although they did very well in the World Cup in Qatar over 2023, of 2022, I mean, but they only won the African Cup of Nations once. But this year they are like one of the favorites to win it, and as well as Ghana. And Egypt is always like some kind of favorite because they play in a very defensive way and they know how to, get a result in the Africa Cup. Like if they are 1-0 up front, they know how to win it. And let's just take a look at the last Africa Cup of Nations, the 2021 edition, which was held in, it was played in, it would have been played in Cameroon, but they didn't have the facilities